is a spiritual deity. Freedom and liberty and justice shall fight for you. When you fight for freedom with all your soul, take it from me. This is Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB, the voice of the nation, the voice.
And here is a special announcement from the leadership of Biafra government in exile. This is BCB.
This is a short message from the leadership of Biafra government in exile, BGIE. I remain Mazi Chima, bringing this message from BGIE to Biafrans home and abroad. To all the men and women of Biafra, BGIE extends warm greetings and many thanks to those in support of the struggle to regain our stolen sovereignty. It has been almost a decade of decadence since the present governing administration of the company called Nigeria took over government. In that time, their lack of competence has been made bare for all to see, with worsening economic conditions leading to rising inflation, currency devaluation, high cost of living, which has further impoverished the indigenous peoples, rising insecurity, causing incessant loss of life and property, forcing embassies and ambassadors of allied nations like America, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Ghana, to mention a few, to issue warning to their immigrant citizens residing in Nigeria. The worsening condition in the contraption Nigeria has forced so-called Nigerians to flee for safe havens in droves of up to 15 million and counting all around the world. Yet for the fleeing populace, the salvation, they say, remains one Nigeria. Does the right to maintain the territorial integrity of this Western creation override the rights and will of the indigenous people? Does it override the right of Biafrans to govern their own affair in their own space? These questions from BGIE has been greeted with resounding, loud silence. Therefore, if we must be free to administer our affairs as a people, we must look to ourselves to solve our own problems with truth, justice, equity, equality, ingenuity, resourcefulness, and perseverance, the ties that bind us together as a people. As I speak, we are in the month of February, so-called election season in Nigeria, a period in which Nigerians will once again be coerced and cajoled to vote in the government who will once again fail in their fiduciary duties to the beneficiaries, the people, and rob them of their beneficial rights, using a constitution designed for this sole purpose. Biafra government in exile poses the questions to all Nigerians. How many times have you tried the same thing? How many times has it failed? Is it not time to consider a different approach instead of once again consenting by vote to be robbed of the rights to the beneficial use of your land and resources? To all the indigenous people seeking freedom in the forced contraption, especially Biafrans, remember that the solution to the problem lies with you. Your refusal to accept things as they are and to demand a change will end the tyrannical rulership over you. Do not look at yourself and say you have no power. Believe in your mind that Biafra has already come. Repeat it to yourself every day. Step forward in that unwavering belief, and BGIE will welcome your contribution to make this belief a manifested reality. In closing this little message, BGIE implores you as Biafrans to go about your lawful business and treat everyone the same way you will like to be treated, with the same dignity, respect, and love. Do not cause harm to anyone because of disagreement in ideology or infringe on the ability of other people to exercise their rights as they see fit. Be vigilant always in this period of rising insecurity and keep the faith, because self-determination is lawful, just, and equitable. God bless you all, and God bless our sovereign nation, Biafra.
This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra.
This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, bringing you the news summaries for the week. In the news this week, Abia government stops coronation of Emir of Aba Emirate Council. Unknown gunmen attack. Politicians and wealthy flee Imo community. New Naira notes as Nigerians continue to suffer. APC governor backs Buhari. Stay tuned for the details coming shortly. From The Guardian, Abia government stops coronation of Emir of Aba Emirate Council. Abia state government yesterday stopped proposed coronation of one Sakin Shehu Bello II as Emir of Aba Emirate Council. The date, venue, and time of the said coronation were, however, not disclosed. Secretary to the state government, Chris Ezem, who disclosed this in a special announcement, stated that the coronation was without recourse to the government. The SSG noted that the attention of the state government was drawn to the proposed coronation and warned all involved, in quotes, in this unauthorized and illegal coronation, to stop the proposed event forthwith or be prepared to face full weight of the law. The announcement reads in part, government hereby direct immediate cancellation of the proposed illegal coronation, as there is nothing like Aba Emirate Council in the state. Government warns residents in the state, especially those residents in Aba, to be law-abiding. Law enforcement agents have been directed to swing into action and ensure that no such event, which is capable of breaching existing peace in the state, takes place in Aba or any parts of the state. From the Champion News, unknown gunmen attack. Politicians wealthy flee Imo State. Sequel to the incessant attack by unknown government in Obinze community, Owerri West, local government area, Imo State. Both politicians and the rich have reportedly deserted the community to save their lives, including a prominent politician, Mr. Ojo, and his son, Ojo Stephen, who the government vowed must be killed for sabotaging them. Making this disclosure to newsmen in Onitsha, Anambra State, Tuesday, in relation to the Ojo family, Mr. Madu hinted that there is no heavyweight politician and wealthy people currently in our community. Even my poor self, a farmer, ran to this place, Onitsha, to save my life from unknown gunmen who have continued to kill, maim, abduct, and assault innocent people in the community. Since June 2022, my relation, Stephen, son of the popular politician Chief Ojo, has not been seen after the deadly unknown gunman kidnapped him on his way to church on June the 5th, 2022, after several failed attempts to kidnap and kill his father for allegedly sabotaging their quest for Biafra actualization. The last I heard from Mr. Ojo's father to Stephen was same June 2022, 3 months after the kidnap of his son, and he told me he was still on the run for fear of being killed and could not locate his son, who they declared wanted to be killed. On Sunday morning, the 5th of June, at around 8:15 a.m. in Obinze community, the unknown gunman drove and double-crossed his car on his way to church while shooting randomly into the air, and forced his son, Stephen, into the car at gunpoint and drove him away to an unknown destination. Luckily for him, he escaped with the help of a security agency in the community he was taken to. This made the gang very angry, and they came back to destroy the politician's house, burning it down and destroying every property in it. It was a brutal incident because the unknown gunmen engaged in gun combat with the security men guarding the politician's compound. It was reported that some family members were killed in the process. They vowed that anywhere they see Mr. Ojo Stephen, they will kill him immediately, and promised to handsomely reward anyone that provide any information on how they can get him, either dead or alive, and since then, nobody has known his whereabouts. And our final news from the day from Premium Times: new Naira notes as Nigerians continue to suffer. APC governor backs Buhari. While many of his colleagues are opposed to the implementation of the currency redesign policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State Tuesday declared his support for the policy. Mr. Umahi, a member of Nigeria's ruling party APC, acknowledged the suffering the policy is causing many Nigerians, but said he believes President Muhammadu Buhari meant well with the policy and that the challenges would be resolved soon. President Buhari has worked so much for this country. He is a man with clean heart. He is a man fighting the people that are oppressing the masses, and I want to appeal to our people to be patient with him, said Mr. Umahi, who is also the chairperson of the Southeast Governors Forum. We will support the president in the new Naira redesign. In few days, Nigeria will be happy with his decision, he said. Mr. Umahi's stance contradicts that of the APC Governors Forum, which has asked Mr. Buhari to change the implementation of the policy and extend the deadline for the validity of the old Naira notes to December. In fact, the governors of 3 APC-controlled states, Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara, have sued the federal government at the Supreme Court over the policy. Mr. Buhari, however, told the APC governors that would review the situation by the 10th of January deadline. This brings an end to our news summary for the week. This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, thanking you for listening and saying goodbye, friends.
This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra,
BCB.
This is BCB, and this is Rose Ama. My people, we're back from our short hiatus, and we're looking at this brand new year and hopefully what it's going to say to us. We have an opinion piece. It is a piece sent to us by Dr. Okeke, who lives in Houston, Texas. In fact, it was forwarded to BCB. We find it quite interesting, which is why we're reading it to you. So I am going to read this in its entirety without commentary. The title of the piece, Census 2023, Yes or No? Let's begin. I have waited till now to get the reaction of the one Nigerianist to the announcement by the federal government of their plan to conduct a national census in March and April of this year, when they should be packing their belongings to leave office. That this information has not provoked a serious reaction and outrage from many people is hardly surprising. This is how the successive generations of the leaders have failed to understand what the Fulani have been up to. This is how they have been able to reach such unassailable sociopolitical, economic, and military positions in Nigeria today. This very short piece is meant for those who understand the importance and the significance of the census in Nigeria, and those who have the ability to think. Buhari must never be allowed to conduct a census, not on the eve of his departure. An exercise that is 7 years late can afford postponement of another year to allow a new administration to accomplish the task. If Buhari's administration is not up to some mischief, they will have no problem with this idea. If not, an injunction should be brought to stop the process and allow the incoming administration to conduct the census. This action should be instituted by a coalition of interest groups in the country. The census is one of the serious albatross hanging around our necks. The British falsified the first census, and that practice has been perpetuated by successive Nigerian governments. With the opening of the borders to all Fulani from West Africa, only God knows what surprise awaits us. This is the end of the piece. It was written or submitted on February the 2nd, 2023 by Dr. Okeke, who resides in Houston, Texas. Biafrans, you've heard. Think about it. Nigerians claim that they're about to hold some election, which many people believe will be rigged. And then Buhari is thinking of conducting a census at the same time. What kind of madness is this? Wake up, Biafrans, wake up. It is time to get wiser. This is Rosama, and this is BCB. Fellow Biafrans, this is Rosama again. We close our program today with a special commentary, observation, letter from our dear brother, Mazi Oluchibe. In this piece, he focuses on Igbo republicanism. What does it mean? The title of his piece is Eze Bu Iro, Igbo enweghị eze, Ọha wụ eze, and the Biafran struggle. The terms above, of course, tell us that Ndi Igbo did not have a dictatorship. In fact, Ndi Igbo, Igbos, governed through a council of representatives. That was the practice. That represents Igbo idea of republicanism, Igbo governing philosophy. And so I begin from Mazi Oluchi Ibe. The above are the core Igbo Biafra political ideology. Igbo republicanism simply means the internalization and externalization of these ideas. It does not mean that Igbo does not have a role for the exceptional individual, a Dimpa. The Igbo Bible, Things Fall Apart, was so clear on this. Dimpa, Okonkwo's position vis-a-vis Umuahia elders council speaks to this. Okonkwo, with his might and strength, could have decided to run roughshod over the community, but he knew that it was a no-brainer. It was death. Onuoha, Oluoha, Ohaka. The collective has always been the ideal. This ancient, long-tested system cannot be wished away even in these modern times with its exigencies. This is at the core of the global confusion over the Igbo Biafra agitation. This existential struggle has naturally started towing towards the ancient tested Igbo system of leadership, the collective. All the Nnamohas of the present state of the agitation will go the way of all Igbo history, fade. You cannot do anything about it, no matter how you bolster, no matter how long it takes nature, it naturally rebounds. The collective ancient Igbo decision-making formula has been at the heart of Biafra government in exile strategy, a strategy they kept alive for would-be serious seeker use. This strategy is out there for any group to exploit for the greater Igbo Biafra good, for the good of the struggle. Any other thing will end up the way others in its guise have always ended up. No matter your assumed level of Dimbahood, Nnamoha never works. Not for Igbo, not for Biafra, never. This call for unity of action cannot be louder than now, with the sword of Damocles seemingly hanging over the head of the expired British contraption, Nigeria. As it were, the current cycle of selections and rigmarole called elections in Nigeria has finally opened the last portion of the country's underbelly. It is only a concerted action exemplified above in the Igbo consensual democracy and decision-making process that can yield us what we seek. The internal confusion and contradictions within many pro-Biafra organizations speak to this fact. In the final analysis, as the Nigerian election takes place, remember both elections and her politics are played usually with Igbo blood. I'm going to repeat this. In the final analysis, as the Nigerian election takes place, remember, both her elections and her politics are played usually with Igbo blood. Biafra government in exile urges our people to be extremely wary. Again, Biafra government in exile urges our people to be extremely wary. From Mazi Oluchi Ibe. Dear Biafrans, be wary, be watchful, be safe. This is Rosama, and this is BCB, and this ends our program for this week. Remain safe. Let's wake up.
Rising soul, hey, rising soul. Biafra is the only hope of Africa. Biafra is the only hope of Africa. Believe it or leave it, Biafra is the only hope of Africa. We've been crying, the world claim not to hear. And we've been lamenting, the world claim not to hear. Our tears flow, the world claim not to see. And our blood flow, the world claim not to see. This is a crime, oh no, against humanity, oh no, yeah, this is a crime. Eritrea spoke up, they were given independence. South Sudan spoke, they were given independence. Namibia spoke up, they were given independence. Give me the reason my people got to be neglected. Give me the reason my people got to be rejected. Give me the reason our freedom got to be a crime. Give me the reason our own freedom got to be denied. Hey, Biafra is the only hope of Africa. I tell you what, Biafra is the only hope of Africa. Hey, Biafra is the only hope of Africa. Believe it or leave it.
For listening to us today.
Oh
Join us
no.
next time for new
Whoa.
and educational programs. This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB.
To be African consecrated nation, oh Father, let these be us born is my